Hey everybody, it's Katherine and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel where we talk all things fragrance and beauty. So today I am wearing form-fitting red dress that I honestly don't get to wear very often. I bought it to wear to a party and I don't think I've worn it since then. I always like to try to wear outfits that coordinate with the fragrance, and today's fragrance deserves nothing other than a red bodycon dress because it's the type of fragrance that deserves to be noticed, and it's the kind of fragrance someone wears when they want to be noticed. The fragrance that we're discussing today is Tiziana Terenzi Tabit. This fragrance is not for one of those who wants to hide in the corner. This is not a put baby in the corner type of fragrance. This is the type of fragrance you wear when you walk into a room and all eyes turn on you. Tabit by Tiziana Terenzi is one of the Luna collection fragrances. I always like to give the inspiration behind the fragrance because I think it adds so much depth and character to the fragrance itself. You can wear a fragrance and appreciate the notes, you can appreciate the quality of the perfume, but to know the inspiration behind it, I think makes the fragrance all that invaluable. Fragrance is so personal, and many times the fragrance that you choose is the personality or the character that you want to depict to the world for that day. Such as going to work today, I wore Cassiopeia because I wanted to be eloquent, I wanted to be girly, I wanted to be sweet and flirtatious. Tabit is the kind of fragrance you wear when you want to be sexy, you want to be noticed. It's a third date kind of fragrance when you know that you really like the person and it's time to really leave them speechless and wanting more. Tabit is not a fragrance for the faint of heart. Tabit by Tiziana Terenzi is considered a floral woody musk. It was launched in 2016, created by Paolo Terenzi. As is all Tiziana Terenzi fragrances, Tabit is a unisex fragrance, so can be worn by either men or women. I think it does lean on the feminine side, but I think a man could wear this because it does have those woody, warm sand notes to it. The top notes of the fragrance include green notes and bergamot. Middle notes are peach, floral notes, sand, and coconut. Base notes being musk, cotton candy, woody notes, vanilla, and amber. The sillage and longevity of the fragrance are both enormous. You wear this fragrance, it is going to last. You walk into a room, you will leave a scent trail. I don't think that it's one of those heavy, sickeningly sweet fragrances, so you're not going to bother the rest of the people in the room, but you will leave a scent trail. The inspiration behind this fragrance, I'll quote, "The extrait de parfum is molded while traveling on the wings of a dream. The revelation that our inner self accomplishes when life contaminates crystallized memories is emphasized and shaped by the imagination of the child. Free from any frame of mind, a trip to the infinite extension of the sky, jumping between luminescent stars without fear of falling, because the earth is soft and cozy, like sugar icing, and it's covered by candied fruit notes of this scent of love. Tabit is a creation that conquers you from the first moment, and it will not abandon you. The scent is powerful but gentle, like the caress of a child smiling, yet it is provocative and sensual, like a bewitching look which you cannot resist. Its top notes are sparkling and immediately playful. Counterpoints of citrus and green leaves, fresh and radiant, they recline on the warm sweetness of the coconut and fisheries, wrapping you like the hot sand of a summer sandy shore in the sunny beach promenade of a Mediterranean village. The impetus of joy explodes with all its beauty on the base notes of this attar. Never far from its heart, royal and gentle. Here, vanilla and precious amber play with precious woods, while the sweet sugar makes us dream about the delicious candy that we were craving when we were kids." Even the description is so sexy and sensual. When I wear this fragrance, the scent that it evokes for me is I'm on a vacation wearing this dress, dinner and drinks by the beach, and then we go for a walk along the shore and maybe wading in the waves and decide to just lay down on the sand and look up at the stars. And the night is so clear and you can see all of the stars twinkling, maybe even a falling star or two. Just the magic and sensuality of all of your senses being tickled. The feel of the sand, the feel of the waves, and that smell when sand is warm and it smells like it's almost baking from the sun's rays, the magic of being with somebody that you care so much about, just being enraptured by your feelings, both emotionally and physically, and just getting caught up in the moment. When you experience the fragrance, it starts off with those fresh notes, the bergamot, the green notes, and quickly blends with those peach notes, the coconut, the warm sand. Like I said, that scent of sand when it's baking in the sun, as well as those floral notes. I think the strongest notes that you experience at this point are those floral notes, the warm sand, the peach, but so it's very sweet, but it still has that floral and then the grounding from the sand. And then as it dries down, you're left with more of those woody notes, but you still get that essence of the warm cooked sand because the woody notes are introduced and mixed with that amber, and those kind of take center stage, but you still have the sweetness from the cotton candy and the vanilla. So it still stays a very more thicker, opaque kind of sweetness. It's not a fresh sweetness. It's not a light and airy sweetness. This is definitely a heavier, more weighted fragrance. The cotton candy, the vanilla, the amber, the musk, the woody notes, those are all very grounding notes. And that's what stays with you for the remainder of the duration of this fragrance. Start to finish, you do experience a sweetness, whether that be the sweetness of the fresh bergamot, the sweetness of the peach and the coconut, but then you're left with the sweetness of the vanilla and the cotton candy. So, you know, it's like oil and water. You start with the water and then you're left with those heavier, more weighted sweet fragrance. But again, you also get the woody side. So again, if we're using that analogy of the oil and water, the water would be the greener notes. Then the center of the cup where they mingle is the warm sand. And then the base, those musk, the woody notes, the amber. So as I was saying, that's what makes it, could go either way. That's how a man could, in my opinion, get away with wearing this fragrance. I mean, obviously any fragrance a man or a woman can wear, but you know, if we're talking basic masculine, feminine type scents, that's how I think a man could also be able to wear this fragrance with confidence. You can get 20% off at So Avant Garde with my discount code of KAT20. Again, I think that it applies to everything but mind games, even on the samples. So if you want to try a sample of Tabit before you make the jump and purchase the fragrance, please do so. Again, that's 20% off at So Avant Garde. So Avant Garde so kindly gifted me with this fragrance, and I am oh so appreciative. I have so much gratitude towards So Avant Garde for giving me the opportunity to be making these reviews for you, because financially I wouldn't be able to afford a lot of these fragrances without their help. So thank you, So Avant Garde. And they have such a wide range of wonderful niche fragrances, imaginary authors, Tiziana Terenzi, Vicanto, Christian Siriano, Initio. So many different options, Meisenzer, and so many brands I've yet to explore. So please check them out. Again, use my coupon code of KAT20 to receive 20% off everything but mind games, I believe. And definitely check out Tabit by Tiziana Terenzi. Obviously, this is one of my top Tiziana Terenzi fragrances in my collection. I've reviewed quite a few of them. I now have, let's see, 4. I now own 6 of them, and Tabit would definitely be in the top 3. Is the heaviest and strongest perfume that I own of the Tiziana Terenzi collection, and it definitely will be the next fragrance I wear when I want to leave a lasting impression on the man I'm with. If you like content like this, please make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell if you want to be alerted when my videos are released. So if you want to wear a fragrance that is reminiscent of rolling on the warm baked sand, looking up at the stars, and relishing those childlike magical moments, I highly encourage you to check out Tabit by Tiziana Terenzi. I appreciate you all, I love you all, and I will see you soon. Fight your fears and go after your dreams, everybody, because if you shoot for the stars, even if you fall, you'll land on the moon. Bye-bye.